Nathan, a successful landlord, prided himself on running his properties with precision and control. He had owned several houses, including the one rented by the Anderson family, a black couple with 2 young children. For years, the Andersons had been quiet tenants, but Nathan had grown uneasy. They missed rent a couple of times and received complaints from neighbors about the noise. He'd had enough and decided it was time to evict them. On a quiet afternoon, Nathan arrived at the Andersons' doorstep with an eviction notice. Ms. Anderson answered the door, and he wasted no time. "I'm afraid there's been a problem with the lease. You need to vacate the property," he said, his tone firm but professional. Ms. Anderson, confused, asked why. Nathan cited missed payments and complaints, handing her the eviction notice with no room for discussion. Despite her attempts to negotiate and explain their situation, he remained resolute. As he left, he felt satisfied, thinking he was doing what was necessary. What Nathan didn't know was that the Andersons were far more than just struggling tenants. James Anderson, the father, had once been a successful entrepreneur. After selling his business for a fortune, James chose to step back and live a quieter, more humble life with his family. They had plenty of financial security, but they didn't flaunt their wealth. They lived modestly, blending into the neighborhood, and had chosen it because of its safety and the good schools for their children. Days went by, and the Andersons fought the eviction, paying overdue rent and seeking help from friends and neighbors. But Nathan remained unmoved. His decision to evict them felt justified. Behind the scenes, the Andersons reached out to their connections for support, quietly preparing to fight back. Then, Nathan received an unexpected call from his lawyer. "You need to hear this," the lawyer said. "James Anderson is one of the largest investors in real estate in the city. He holds major stakes in several developments, and if you move forward with this eviction, it could ruin your career." Stunned, Nathan realized he had made a serious mistake. The Andersons weren't just an ordinary family, they had power, influence, and connections. James Anderson wasn't just a tenant, he was a key player in the city's real estate industry. Panicking, Nathan rushed to their house, hoping to resolve the issue before it was too late. When he arrived, Ms. Anderson opened the door. This time, she was calm and composed. "Mr. Nathan, it's too late to fix this now," she said. "We've already taken the necessary steps." James Anderson appeared behind her, dressed sharply in a suit. "Mr. Nathan," he said, his voice steady but commanding, "you've made a grave mistake. We're taking legal action against you, and it's not going to end well for you." Nathan was shocked. He had no idea who the Andersons truly were. They weren't just tenants, they were influential figures, and now their power was being brought to bear against him. The Andersons weren't seeking revenge, but they were determined to right the wrongs done to them and expose the unfairness of the eviction. Soon, the media caught wind of the eviction and the racial discrimination accusations. The story spread quickly, sparking public outrage. Nathan's reputation began to crumble as people learned about the Andersons' background and their fight for justice. Tenants started leaving his properties, and potential clients questioned his ethics. Nathan's business suffered, and he realized too late the consequences of his actions. James Anderson, however, didn't want to destroy Nathan. He wanted to teach him a valuable lesson. The Andersons weren't interested in revenge, they simply wanted to ensure that such an injustice wouldn't happen again. They used the situation to push for stronger protections for tenants, especially those from marginalized communities. In the end, Nathan learned a painful lesson about assumptions and the dangers of judging people based on appearances. By the time he understood the Andersons' true identity and the consequences of his actions, it was too late. The Andersons had turned the tables on him, exposing the flaws in his thinking and in the system he had relied on. The damage to Nathan's career was done, and he was left to reckon with the mistake he made in underestimating a family whose true strength lay not in wealth, but in their integrity and determination. The Andersons reclaimed their dignity and used their influence to make sure the incident sparked real change. Nathan had learned that you should never underestimate the quiet strength of others, and that sometimes the most powerful people are the ones you least expect.